Hello there, my darlings. How are you tonight? We're starting over. We're starting over. Hello. I hope that's better because I fixed it, hopefully, so it is better. And we can just go ahead and like pick up, except I hate that blue. Let me do something with this blue because I can't hack it. Don't like it. Don't like it. There we go. Well, hello. Where are you? Right. Thank you. It's Mercury retrograde, everybody. Hello. Hello. And guess what? I'm still getting notifications from my app. Here. This is kind of what I want to do right now. All right. Here we are. Everything is fun. We're all good. We're back in business now. So now I've learned the lesson. We're back in business. Hello. I love that I'm back too. Let me just kind of get my grab my bearings here and get everything up to where I need to get. Hello. Let me see. All right. I've got to get my grifting little Venmo up because you know I'm your favorite grifting psychic. Hello. So now, my darlings, look, I don't even have the correct banner up. It just kind of took me in here. Hello, there we are. So now we're here. Now we're here. No more app discussions tonight. There we are. Need a drink, but it is cranberry raspberry juice. There we are. You made it to the other side. We'll go from there. Let's see. Give me a second, my darlings, because I got to check on some other. I just received my notification for your channel on. Okay, good. Then you don't need the app. That's perfect. That helps it. That helps it. Give me a second. Okay. I have to type a quick note. It's hard to type when you've got talons, right? There we are. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. I thought I would. Hello. We're starting over. Somebody wrote me a nasty little note right as I was leaving. And here's what I have to say to that person who wrote that nasty little note. May thou fornicate yourself, and thou steed in which thy rode in on. There we are. So anyway, my darlings, we started a fire. Look here. We've got the fireplace going. We've got everything going now. We're ready to go. Yes, because I won't say those words. So for those of you who've missed it, let me say it again. May thy fornicate thyself, and thou steed that thy rode in on. In the most spectacular way I could imagine, or not want to. So there we are. There we are. Auntie Zell, hi, Candy, my little sweetheart is in. Hello. I don't mind them at all. I think it's whatever. I just like to be able to say that. So if the occasion arises and gives me that opportunity, I may say that and say hello in the most elegant way that I possibly can. So I want to welcome each and every one of you. Today is Seeing Crime. It is Saturday. I almost said August. Where are we? It is Saturday, November 15th. I am Lady Zelda here, back from some weird angles, weird views, the app store, everything. We're back. We're back. Now, thank you so much for your beautiful patience, everyone. I really did not think that it would take that long, but I want everybody happy. That's where it goes. So anyway, hello again. Welcome, welcome. We're just going to give a minute for everybody to come in here. And welcome and happy Mercury retrograde. But I got to tell you a little story about my printer. And then, because we've got some people coming in, we got people coming in. And I want to tell you this story. Got to tell you about a story. Or to tell you about, I got to tell you a little story about this printer. And it's something that I'm going to tell on Manifestation Monday. And that's the good thing. I keep watching the chat because I love seeing everything that you're doing. You know, my printer pooped out. It just looked at me a few days ago and said, Zelda, really, girl, you really come closer. You're really gonna push me to print all this stuff? And I'm like, Mr. Cannon, I have to. I have to, because my handwriting is scratch. And he said, well, my apologies, but my printer head seems to have pooped out. And so I knew at that point that it was going to be whatever. Now, this was like 2 days ago now. So me being the manifestation chick that I am, said, okay, I get up, I start walking around the house. Yes, it is Mercury retrograde, but since when have I allowed that to stop me? Mercury retrograde, when you're manifesting, only makes you slow down and get into a much better groove. So here's the gig. I started saying, thanks for that beautiful printer. And I would like to have another Canon. And it'll look great on my table. And you know what I did? I went over here and I put my hand on the old one and I felt how it would feel for that to be printing out everything that I needed, including new card decks, including one that Lord Gregor is involved with called the Catacombs. And I envisioned how it would feel to have this brand new, the smell of new ink, right? Hello. The smell that went along with it. Within 45 minutes, 45 minutes, my best bud, here, we're going to take a little side trip. My best bud said, text me and says, Zell, I need your help. I said, sure. What, I got your back. Hello. And she's like, well, I really need your help. I said, what, do we need shovel or do we need bail money? I'm there. Let's go. And she said, I went out to walk my dog. And I had an accident with the dog. The dog is big. And she broke her hand. She's got a little bit of, road boo-boos. And she said, I need to have you read on my dog and see if there's something wrong. I said, of course, I'll be glad to do that. Long story short as possible, she's okay. She's in a cast. She's looking hot. She looks hot anyway, but she looks hot with a cast. And she sent me the exact amount of money that I would need for a printer plus $20 that bought new paper and some ink that went along with it. Now, when I say you can manifest quickly, you can manifest quickly. That's how that works. You forget about, and one of these days, and I want you to come over Monday night to Manifestation Monday, because I'm going to show you guys something that is so awesome that you should be able to realize your manifestations a lot quicker than what you do. Because I know how it is, because you know the word, it says, ask and ye shall receive. Well, hello, we keep ask, and then when it doesn't show up, what happens? Well, I'm going to show you. Monday night, 7 p.m., be here, aloha, how to manifest. Because my darlings, when I figured this out, it's a whole brand new ball game. Brand new. And it doesn't make any difference. No, I didn't break my friend's hand, Boda Bob. It doesn't make any difference what it is. You can have it. You can have it. And thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, no, I like it, Boda Bob. And I'm so thankful. But you see, that's how quickly, when I say you should be able to manifest like this, that's how quickly the universe hears it. And guess what? The universe made that arrangement not for my friend to wipe out with her dog, for God forbid, but for her to think of me and need that help and offer for that to do it. See, that's where it all comes about. So there we are. Monday night, 7 o'clock. You're going to learn and get ready. Buckle in, buckle up. So now tonight, there is a person that I saw in my readings today, because I'm always reading behind the scenes on people in true crime. There's a reading that I saw today, and yes, here we go. We're getting started, and this is tonight's show. Forget the app show. We had the app show. Forget that one. We're starting this one. It's a new day for singing a song, and it's a new. Okay, here we go. Get a life, Zelda, or rent one. So here we are, and I've got to show you this, and I'm just going to tell you. You'll guess who this is about. Get ready. Here we are.
The garage, essentially. Is a garage, essentially.
One more time.
The garage, essentially. Is a garage, essentially.
There's a garage. A garage, essentially. A garage, essentially. I'm going to tell you what I saw in the cards, and you can watch for this to come. For those of you who don't know, Commissioner Cox in Boston is being sued. This is all about, I don't know all of the details. I don't need to, and I don't want to. But from what I understand, Commissioner Cox asked one of his patrolmen to essentially lie. Lie to whom? Lie to internal affairs. Wait, somebody has a birthday. Carrie, you got a birthday, gorgeous? Let's see. Oh, well, we got to sing happy birthday. Time out. Time out. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carrie. Happy birthday to you and many more. Yay! Birthday girl, birthday girl. Let's give her a little bit of applause because she deserves it. There we go. There we are. We get ready there. So, anyhow. So Commissioner Cox, in all of his glory, who denied having a call, a meeting with Kelly Dever, watch for another lawsuit, because that man single-handedly convinced this young girl, yes, she should have taken the responsibility. She should have looked at this dude and said, excuse me, first of all, Commissioner Cox, it is not proper for me to be in the same room that you are, with the door closed, talking to me about this crap, about doing the right thing. And I think he explicitly said that to that patrol officer, do the right thing, and basically lie to IA, internal affairs, for that one other officer. Now, I want you to know something. That other officer is not sitting back. He is suing Commissioner Cox. And he's suing him for basically being an idiot, in my opinion, but wanting him to lie. Now, how do you think? Let's just imagine this. Just come closer. Let's just take a moment and think about what he did with Kelly Dever. Do I agree with what Kelly did? No, I don't. But she's young. She's young. And in all fairness, she wanted her career, and she looked up to this dude. So most likely when he called in her to his office, and he looks at her and does the, do the right thing. She knew, sorry, hello. She knew, but she wanted to do the right thing for herself. Now, Commissioner Cox, what a name to have it. Mr. Cox. Oh boy, I could make some memes on this one. He messed up royally. Because, first of all, let's think of A.J. Jackson saying that he belonged on the Brady list, saying that he is not responsible, and neither is Kelly. Cox ruined her career. I'm indifferent. I have to tell you this. I'm indifferent about this. Because you see, that is the intimidation of a person who in 1995 got in trouble himself. It always comes home to roost. What comes around goes around. But I'm indifferent for this reason. Because Cox tried to reel her into corruption. Was she too young? Was she too inexperienced? Was she too blind? Or was she too everything? Did she just think that Karen, I think the most of them, the majority of them basically said this. I think they all felt that just Karen was just going to go down. And we all knew the truth. It was just she had to go through the process. I truly believe she felt that she was just gonna, it was just gonna be, and she was going to, you know what I really believe? I believe, I believe that she thought she was going to further her career by doing this. And I think what gave her that, pardon me, I got the hiccups. Ah, what gave her that indication was how he approached her behind closed doors. Will we ever know? Because in this particular situation, one's going to lie and the other one's going to swear to it. Because think about this. Is Kelly Dever actually going to go to the authorities and say, I lied on the stand? Her career's already ruined. What is she going to do? Everybody, especially in that region, knows who Kelly Dever is. Maybe she needs to start hanging garage doors. Garage. When I was in the garage, but this also tells me, I want to, I have been thinking about this for a long time. Kelly Dever knows more than what she thinks she's going to know. And let me start that over. Kelly Dever, the kitties, if you're wondering where they are, they have new flea medicine, and it's just kind of like, I don't made them rest. They're okay. But let's talk about Kelly Dever for a moment. Wasn't she in that was she in that office when we saw Higgy Baby walking down that hall and going into that office? Was she in there? Kelly Dever knows so much more about this, and this is why she was called in, because if she was just there, think about this, my friends, if she was just there and she didn't know or she didn't see anything, she wouldn't open up her little pie hole to begin with. Think about that. Kelly's too young to be thinking about this. Look what I got, everyone. And I actually asked Howie Carr if I could read a little bit of this to you. Maybe we will one of these days. I'm actually reading a book right now about Eddie O'Brien. Pardon me. This is an excellent book, though. I did start reading. I cannot walk around. I cannot walk around. And it even has pictures for people like me. I cannot walk around without a book in my hand. But let's think about this. What does Kelly Dever know? Most likely she may be in danger. Danger of what? I don't know. But the reality, my darling, is this. I want you to think very clearly. I want you to think very clearly about this. Let's just take a moment. I don't know the timeline, and that's what I need to go through. But you know, when everything was going on, and by the way, I have to tell you this. I am predicting 2 nor'easters hit that Massachusetts area, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, all in that area this coming winter. At least one. The second one is iffy. Look out. Now, thank you so much, my darlings. Now let's think about this for a second. Kelly Dever sees something in the Sally Port that she's not supposed to be seeing with Chief Berkey and Higgy Baby. And you know, in that reading today kind of confirmed and it confirmed to me, that there's a whole hidden thing about Higgy Baby coming up. Watch it when it starts going out. It's there's not going to be any turning back. These cards that say do the right thing, I feel that it's never too late to do the right thing. But there does come a time in the legal industry where it is too late. It is too late to garner any type of agreement, any type. And believe me, I already think that our buddies, Agent Obligadas, are still there. In fact, I really feel that they're being talked to again, based on Proctor. This is like the domino effect that is, it's going to be heard worldwide. Seriously. Pardon me. And hello, Tennessee Paranormal. Thank you for this sweet little mid-Tennessee look. Isn't that great? Remember, what's his face? Be that way quiet. Now let's think about this for a second. And I need to look at the timeline, so please forgive me. And you can give me timelines in here if you want. But let's think about this. After this shuffling at 34 Fairview Road, and John seems to have had all of this happen to him. But before Karen and before Carrie and before Jen roll up. And I'm going to also tell you, I don't know for a fact, but I know in my heart that this phone call at 5:03 a.m. the morning of January 29th of 2022 was a signal. Because Jen called her sister. We're coming. We're coming. Be prepared. Get him on the lawn. We're coming. Now, we don't know what was said. It could have been that. But seriously, I want you to think about this. After everything, because there's segments, just like a play, and when you start thinking about a pulp, think about this movie, Erase, Clear the Decks. I want you to think about the movie Pulp Fiction. Do you know how in that movie there was something going over here with Bruce Willis? There was something going over here with John Travolta. There was something going over here with this one and this one. And they all meshed and mashed and meshed together. That's what they call Pulp Fiction. That's exactly what this is. It's the Pulp Fiction of 34 Fairview. Because on one side of the aisle, we had everything going on with Karen. On the other side of the aisle, we had everything going on at 34 Fairview Road. And on the other side of the aisle, back here, we had everything going on at the Canton Police Department. So now, when we put all this into everything, we see Higgy Baby emerge from the depths, from the bowels of the hot place. He goes over to why? You're not going over there to move vehicles, Higgy. We already saw. But he went into the office that looked like, could it have been? I don't know. But it looked like perhaps the office where they kept things, where they saw things, where dispatch was. Can we think about that? What if Kelly Dever was in that office? What if Kelly Dever was in that office? He came out. What if after he came out, that's when Cox warned her, don't go and be running your cake hole. I want you to think about that. If some big dude that had been drinking came, look, I could take Higgy Baby any day. I'll just tell you. One on one. He can do whatever he needs to do. But some little chick like Kelly Dever, that'd be hard. It wouldn't be hard to overcome. Think about it. When he came down through that hall and went into that doorway and came out, there's something going on there. And as soon as I can, let's get the holidays over. Let's get these nor'easters over. And hopefully by the spring, Zelda can skippity-doo on up to 34 Fairview, because that energy is so intense right now. I can feel it, and in some ways it's making me sick. Because I want you to think about Pulp Fiction and how all these stories mesh, and then we've got Pooper Proctor over here, loses his job, he's this and he's this, and this is it. I want you to think about this. It's like when you have a balloon filled with water and you drop it on concrete and it just spatters in every direction. That's what this case is all about. And I hope and pray that Karen files her lawsuits, the 1983 with the federal court. Civil court shall be okay, but federal court is a completely different thing. Completely different. I'm just saying, what if? But even if Kelly Dever wasn't in that office, because didn't she work overtime? She worked overtime. Wasn't she working one? Didn't she work overtime? Even if not, there is a connection. And now let's talk about Commissioner Cox again. Commissioner Cox, oh, the jokes I could be having. Commissioner Cox, I can almost bet is going to get another lawsuit by Kelly Dever, because all it takes is one, and that's through the new patrolman or the new officer. And all it takes is one lawsuit. All it takes is one lawsuit, and that, watch, because this guy he's setting precedents now. That's what it's called legally. I'm not a lawyer, but he's now opening the floodgates, because now everybody else will be brave. You can't tell me that Cox has not done this to something in the same as Dever and this other patrolman or this other officer before. He just didn't start this. This is a habit. And the moment that lawsuit has hit, you watch and see what happens. This guy will be resigning. This guy will be resigning, and Kelly Dever, I'll bet, will be joining the ranks to see, because she lost her job over this. Now, could it be her fault? I think a lot is. However, I think there was so much pressure from Cox. I hate to even say that. From this dude. And her stuff, her testimony, Sometimes I just want to tell you this. Her behavior, and I've seen this before, is sometimes of someone that is so guarded. And sometimes that's how people cover fear. Do you know that? Pardon me. That's how people can cover fear. So even if the timelines don't match, there's something that was in that office. Why did Higgy go in there? Was he looking for something? Was he looking? He knew who was in there. He knew who she was because she saw him. The biggest thing, my darlings, that I want you to remember is this. There's so much more coming. And Kelly Dever, and her little attitude, there's a reason behind people acting like that all the time, because quite frankly, when I've seen her other pictures, I've never seen, she doesn't come across like that to me. That's right, Auntie BB. She's Sarah's BFF. Yay, somebody got the app. Hello, but we're not going to go there. Thank you so much. But Higgy, listen, watch the discovery coming out on Higgy. I had a conversation with a friend of the channel under confidence, and I told this person who the names were that John Energy gave me. And I think that's right on. I think it's right on. That's right, Terry. Wounded animal in the corner. Absolutely correct. Because I'm going to tell you what Kelly Dever reminded me of on the stand. Do you know what a badger is? A honey badger? A honey badger is this little animal who looks cute and fuzzy, but nobody in the wild kingdom messes with him. Do you know why? Because when he is backed in a corner, he just goes right for her. And if you are a male animal, like as in a lion, that goes for a badger, he's going to go right for the little cojones, and he's going to grab on, and he ain't going to let go until the whole thing stops. And that's what reminded me of Kelly Dever. She was backed in a corner, and she just didn't give a crap because she was afraid. She was afraid. And I believe, do I agree with this? No, heck no. No, I don't. But you know what? We cannot judge if we were in her shoes or anybody else's in that pickle, because I still believe it's a pickle. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that office with Kelly Dever, Miss Garage, and Commissioner Cox. I believe that Kelly Dever was also a throwaway. And I believe that Higgy Baby knew that Kelly Dever was, somebody knew that she was in there, and she's a rookie, and she wants to do the right thing, and she's going to tell what she saw, and that was Berkey and Higgy. And when that was found out, when she reported it, and they found out what she told the FBI, hello. It's every man for themselves. She was pushed into a hard place. And I think that when she got off that stand, she knew it was just a matter of time. Her career was ended. Because how do you fight that? Because here's the thing. There was a part of Kelly that wanted to do the right thing. Let's think about this for a second. She still is a brat, right? But let's think about this. There was this part of her that wanted to do the right thing, and that's why she told. But she went up against the system, and she knew what she had to do. She probably was told, because who was it that told her that she had a false memory? Wasn't it the police department, Boston PD's lawyer? She had a false memory. I guess she had a false memory about Commissioner Cox having her come into his office too. Honey, the app is not in the App Store, Mary. It's not in the App Store. It won't. You've got to download Spaces. You might want to go back and take a look at the previous stream because I don't want to get into that again. But that's how she came up with this false memory. Because who do we think? I do. They knew that Kelly told Agent Ubligada. Yes, they spoke with her. Because they had to prep her for this her testimony. It's my understanding. And that's how, if you go back and take a look at her, maybe one day we'll take a look at it, but AJ is talking to her about it. I think she told the truth. I agree with you, Carla. I think she told the truth. The truth being what she saw with Higgy and Berkey. I got to tell you this. Yeah, if you go back, she said that she had to have a conversation to make sure that saying that a false memory was okay. But let's go back and think about this for a second. Whatever that she saw that Higgy and Berkey was doing, and remember, Berkey has passed away, so Higgy's on his own now. But think about this. She must have saw something really. Because, listen, it's one thing to see the chief and some hefty ATF agent roaming around in a sally port. Why would you have to feel like you needed to tell the agents from the FBI what you saw if she didn't see something that was not right? And I'm sure, because when they found out about that, I'm sure that they had meetings. The way she talked, she had meetings. And remember, that's when she said that AJ told her that he was going to press charges for perjury. And that can't happen because a lawyer can't do that. You got to have the DA, so she was okay. But that's the only excuse that they could come up with, that she had a false memory. What? I should have had a false memory on my last marriage. The whole idea, and I've been thinking about this for a while, why do you think Higgy is so nervous? Why do you think Cox was so nervous when it came to all of this? She was surrounded. And what she felt she had to come out like a billy goat gruff. I'm not making excuses for her. I'm just saying what I'm observing and what I observed. Did she act like a horse's hiney? Of course she did. Was she too egregious? Of course she was. But there's a reason behind it. There's a reason behind it. So I want you to think about this, because I'm going to say now, this whole thing, because remember, Higgy, Proctor are throwaways. Do you see anybody coming to Proctor to his rescue? No. And will you see anybody coming to Higgy Baby's rescue? No. They are throwaways. They were told what to do. Do I believe that Higgy went home and slept on his sofa? No. No, I don't. Trying to sober up because he was that drunk? No. These people are the poster children for reasonings why not to drink for days upon end. Deaver is one too. Kelly Dever, yes, absolutely. She's a throwaway too. But watch them all start coming out after each other. Conspiracy? I don't know. But it only takes one to have an idea. And I keep coming over this, and the idea that the energy of what happened there at 34 Fairview keeps ringing in my head. It keeps ringing that, first of all, someone had to make a decision. What was that decision? To end John O'Keefe. Because that whole thing with Karen is over. She cannot be tried again. She's already been tried twice, found not guilty twice, in my opinion, but hello, I'm not an attorney. Pardon me. That means those people who did this dastardly deed are still walking the streets. They'll get them. The authorities will get who is ever responsible for this. We know it's not Karen. We know it's not Karen. So justice belongs to John. Now I want you to think about this. All of these people who said they were John O'Keefe's friends. Why didn't you go to the funeral? We know why Karen didn't. She had a stay-away order. She would have been the first one there, along with her family. You know my little song. Sooner or later, feds are gonna get 'em. Sooner or later, feds are gonna get 'em. It's just a matter of time. Do you know where you're going to? Will you like the things that inmates do to you? Where are you going to? Do you know? But this gets me. Think about this. Dr. Lapazada told us about the injury that was to the back of John's head, and that he could not live with that type of injury more than just a few minutes. When did that happen? Was that after the 5:03 a.m. call that Jen made to her sister? Was John still alive? Who made that decision to say, you know what, guys? We're going to have to end this, because if they find John and he survives, he will testify against us, and we're all going down. Who made that decision? It had to be the idea of one person. It had to be the idea of one person for them to share to others. Because that's what gives me the chills. And then sit up in court and say, oh yeah, he was our friend. Wait a minute. I'm just a mom. I'm just a psychic mom. I'm just a mom. Wah. Hold on, I heard my phone go off. Somebody sent me a Venmo, and thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. Give me a second. Oh, thank you, Candy. That's pretty cool. Anyways. There's a man passed out in the snow. A man. I want you to think about this. If this were my friend, and then I've got something else I want to talk to you about. Yes, I did. Yes, I did watch Time Out. I did watch Ian Runkle's stream today. Congratulations to him on his 24-hour stream. He is busting it wide open. I love it. And he had attorney Robert Alessi on there today, and they were talking about the rock. That rock, I did read on the rock. You can go back in the playlist and take a look at it. It is symbolic. And what is it symbolic of? Did anybody forget about the rock? What is it symbolic of? The rock is symbolic of witchcraft. Some of the symbols and everything else. And by the way, if any of them bought any of those dolls to keep them in their living room on their sofa table, you're gonna need a refund. And if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm talking in the microphone. It was all, you're welcome, all symbolic symbols. Not good. Not good. Now, I forgot what I was going to say, but it probably is okay anyway. So that's what I'm getting at. And watch, my darlings, because listen, it's going to come out. There's too many people involved. They're not going to sing, they're going to slip. That's what I want you to remember. I can't remember, Patty. Maybe we need to go back and take a look at that. Maybe we need to do that. We can have a vote. If you guys want to see my reading on the rock, let me know. And I'll put the reading up here. Oh, Yannetti donated one of the ties he wore during the Karen Reed trial. It was yellow. It went for $8,000. Whoa. How amazing is that? Wow. Wow. Put a one in the chat if you want to go back and take a look at that rock reading, because that's amazing. It is amazing. It's a reading on the rock. And it's not Plymouth Rock either. You want the rock reading? Let me take a look and see if I can find it. Hello, my darlings. Hello and welcome, everyone. Just give me a second, okay? Let me go through and check on the rock. There we are. Do you know? Let me see. Whoops. Now, you know when I start saying whoops. All right, let me see if I can find it. The reading on the rock. It's been a little bit. I can't remember when that was. It's been a little bit. But I'll have a picture of it on the thumbnail, so I should be able to find it pretty quickly. No, it wasn't there. It was during the trial that everybody went out there, and the rock wasn't really that mentioned. Let me see. Let me find it. Oh, no. Because she was acquitted in June, so it had to be before then. Let me get back here. It's when they all did their little visit. They all did the little visit out to 34 Fairview. Wow, some of these thumbnails, I'm looking back through my readings, and I'm like, Zelda, what were you even thinking? It might have been in a live presentation that I did that on the rock. I'm thinking that I did. Let me see. No, I don't think so. I think it was a regular reading. Let me see. Now I have those songs in my brain. Do you know where you're going to? Will you like the things that inmates do to you? Oh, I should, let me take a look at the live ones, maybe. Oh, wait. Here we are. The spell at 34 Fairview. I've got it. We've got it. If y'all want to view it on YouTube. Give me a second, my darlings. We'll put it together. Here we go. My nails look good. All right, here we are. Let me get this together. It's called The Spell at 34. It's not very long. I'm going to take this off. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at it. It's the Spell Rock at 34 Fairview. All right, let me start this over because I'm seeing that it's already started. We've got to get this back here now. No. Let's make it bigger. There we are. Here we are, my darlings. The Spell Rock at 34 Fairview. You see the hidden there? The hidden ritual. There we are. And just as mysteriously vanished, and during the jury visit to 34 Fairview Road in Karen Reed's trial, and I'm asking, was it a warning? A spell? A hidden ritual? Today we'll explore the forgotten symbols, the ancient spell work, and the powerful forces moving beneath this trial, and the forces most people never, ever noticed. We are here together. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Lady Zelda Kelly with Seeing Crime, and today is Monday, April the 28th of 2025. And this rock does not have me baffled. I feel I've got some evidence in my own heart, and I certainly have an opinion I want to share with you. And that's all this is. It's an opinion. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not an expert, but I am a psychic medium, tarot profiler, and I predict and I forecast. But in this particular situation, I am no stranger. On the day the jurors visited the scene, a rock was discovered placed openly close to where the flagpole was at 34 Fairview Road. Painted simply, almost in a shape of a triangle, it displayed the name Albert. It had 18 dots and wavy line. Importantly, it was not there earlier, and it disappeared later that same day after the jurors left. No one claims responsibility for it or removing it. It is quite a mystery, but I have some things that I want to share with you. Mystical and esoteric symbol analysis that I have done. The name Albert and McCabe, but Albert was the former owner of the home where John O'Keefe was unalived. In mystical traditions, invoking a name anchors its spiritual energy to a place. Think about that. It was not in dedication to John O'Keefe or a memorial, it was to Albert. In mystical traditions, invoking a name anchors this energy so much in place that by writing Albert, there is a spell that will be reawakened for the old ownership, old alliances, and claim the land spiritually for those old powers. Think about it. This particular home held a lot of power far beyond, far before John O'Keefe. It symbolically reinvited the spirit of the Alberts to control or protect over the scene and the events. I have said since I have seen that rock that it is part of a plot, but not a plot that you and I normally would think of. So the wavy lines, or the wavy line rather, symbolizes an emotional disturbance, influence, hidden currents beneath a seemingly calm surface. It seemed harmless sitting there, right? But it looked like it had a little stain on it. The wavy line here suggests subtle manipulation, an effort to push the jurors emotionally without their conscious awareness. It reflects a ripple effect, small hidden influences leading to major internal shifts. There are 18 dots, the same number as jurors. In folk magic and spellcraft, physically marking targets in a classical ritual technique is what you do with these type of dots, representing a juror in this case, binding them energetically to a desired outcome or to the emotional confusion and doubt. It is a subtle way to direct a group spell without needing direct contact. They think they're pretty smart, don't they? The light blue. So you notice that there's some light blue. The A and the Albert, two of the dots from what I can see, and the wavy line were painted in a light blue while everything else was white. In magic, color work, as in light blue, represents calmness, emotional pacification, mental suggestion. It is used to soften the critical thinking, encourage compliance, and create emotional confusion while masking it as peace. So there's an underlying current with this blue. Soften critical thinking, encourage compliance, and create emotional confusion. So why just the A and two dots and the wave. Well, the A strengthens the Albert's claim energetically while cloaking it under a peaceful influence. Wolves in sheep's clothing. The two dots possibly could be a target to two particular jurors considered to be most or more important spiritually sensitive. The wave flowing emotional influence, subtly pulling all the jurors into a predetermined emotional state. A compelling, getting the jurors to do what they want. This proves to me that they're going to do or try to do everything possible to make this jury convict Karen, but it's not going to work. This is not art. I want you to know that. And for anybody who questions this, this is far from being art. This is ritual magic. It's planted for maximum energy to effect during the most spiritually charged moment. And that was the jury visit. Removed after its purpose was complete, a classic, my darlings, element of temporary field spells and folk traditions. It was a silent weapon of emotional influence, energetic binding, hidden in plain sight. In every trial, there are facts. There are focuses and forces that are unseen, and sometimes the ground itself will whisper, and the stones remember. What appeared at 34 Fairview Road may not have been meant for the living to see. So I'm just going to say this. This is a time, and I want you to remember that the earth keeps secrets better than the living do. So that ground has absorbed the energy because John O'Keefe was there. No symbol is left by accident, and all things are placed. Last but not least, the ground remembers what the living try to forget. So what I want to do right now is I have this hidden deck, and I want to lay out some of these cards. And I want to see what we can do to find out who and what is doing this and who's behind it. And I might even have a little something to help get rid of it. Definitely so. Now I have said a very quiet little blessing over these cards. They've been very, very helpful. Let's see what they have to say. I'm going to deal each one of them face down. A sigil. Yeah, I did a sigil type thing. That was during a live. And for the sake of the room that we have on here for the camera, I'm going to just give them a little, put them together a little bit closer. Here we have on the bottom of the deck, and oh wow, that is not good. We'll come to that in just a minute. But this is the first card that we laid out. And what is this first card? 5 of Clubs. The 10 of Hearts. the Two of Clubs, the Two of Diamonds, the King of Diamonds, the Five of Spades, and the Six of Clubs. Very, very interesting. So we've got two deuces here. So we're going to read those first. We're going to read then the two fives. This is so interesting because the Two of Diamonds is an exchange. And it really means a deal or a negotiation has been taking place. Something given for something taken, and vice versa. The bottom line is we have to consider and weigh the value of what has been taken and what has been given and all this negotiation. But coupled here with this particular Two of Clubs, it's a spark of conflict. It's a clash of ideas and a test of wills. And it can indicate growth, but it also might mean friction. And it doesn't surprise me because I've been saying for a very, very, very long time that some of these witnesses do not want to testify. Now we're moving on. I'm going to put this here like this. To these two fives. First of all, this Five of Clubs means that there's too many voices, too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to know and wants to get their own point across. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody thinks that their idea is the right one. That's better to say. And then we have this Five of Spades lurking on the bottom. We're going to leave it like that so you can see it. This definitely means a conflict and a betrayal. And it means that there are definitely sharp edges. Now, time out a minute. That injury on the back of John's head was from blunt force or a sharp edge, because it would have to be to make a cut like that. This definitely speaks of loss, no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt, period, none whatsoever.
Hold on.
Now we have the two tens here, but the two tens we're not going to read together because, my darlings, I just see something that I've noticed before that I want to point out. I was just talking about the injury to the back of John's head that is blunt force. And I want you to look, let me see if you can see this. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Look at what is behind that king's head. Look at that king. And yes, they are creepy because this is the hidden deck. The King of Diamonds, which is an air sign, which is communication. And look, I never caught that before. A blunt object to the back of the head. I'm going to leave it there just for a second so you can see. I did not pick that up. I'm so glad that all of you have asked and agreed to watch this. See, that's amazing when we go back and look at these videos, because there are things that you don't see. There have been videos, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but there is one especially where one card literally moves and I'm not touching it. It's a card that seriously moved. I wish I knew where that was. I would show it to you. That was amazing. So, okay, let's start this again before we lose. Because this is at the bottom of the deck. So now we go on to the 6 of clubs. It's leadership. So someone took it upon themselves to place the rock. It was someone who others feel that they can or should look up to in order to get this done. It is a male. That kind of fooled me because I was thinking of a specific female, and I know most of you are too, and she may be behind it, but he may have placed it based on all of this. It means that it's a mentorship, almost leveling up a little bit. Isn't that amazing? Now, we come to this 10 of Hearts. This 10 of Hearts really can mean an overflowing situation, family, and it speaks of community, and can be spiritual abundance, but I don't think they're really working with the same spirit that you and I know. So, someone part of the community. Now, no, I'm going to read this one first. This King of Diamonds. This guy is a strategist. He's a leader. He's a builder. He's somebody that will try to sabotage you. He plays to win. It doesn't matter what the rules are. Money is power, and power is money. That's who he is. Take a look at him. And he's got that little word on here, occultum. So what does this 10 of Spades mean? Well, it's considered the final sword. It's considered the end, and the end of a chapter. And it feels like it is freeing. Something that needed to be done as a last-ditch effort, I'm going to say. So what does this tell me? Well, there was definitely a collaboration. There was one person who thought about this and the others followed. A leader, someone wanting to put together, someone who has a lot to lose, someone that wants to take matters into their own hands, and who is known by the community. That's pretty amazing. I think a lot of them are known by the community, so it's going to be really hard to nail this down, but it does look like a male. Let's take one more card. I don't want to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. So this Jack of Hearts. He's a dreamer. He's someone who lives in a fantasy. He is someone who is a follower. He likes to think that he's a leader. Yeah, I know you know who it is. I'm afraid. Let's be careful. Put initials in the comments, if you will. Let's not put names there because, first of all, as you know, this is entertainment purposes only. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. We're just being nosy. We just want to see who this is. So it's a younger one. Okay, I want to answer, oops. I want to answer Terry's question. Can I ask what the meaning is of the one heart inside down in the 10 of Hearts? You mean under the 10 of Hearts? I think I know what you mean. That the little heart that's under the number 10 just gives an indication, just like the little heart under the jack and the diamond under the king or the K. It just gives an indication what suit it is. That's really all it means. So there you go. All right, let's get started again here. Kind of having an idea of who these two people are, and if they are very, very, very much involved. I can't help it. I need another card. Let's take another card. Oh, that one wanted to come out, so let's take it. Oh, there is the woman. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that is the woman behind the man. This is the woman who feels that she has silent power. There's the man behind the still waters run deep with her. She feels that she is wise. But you know what? She seeks the darkness. She wears the darkness like a fine, just a fine royal robe. She wants to think that she has psychic power, and she wants to let others think that she is powerful. And sometimes things are hidden in plain sight. But there is a warning that comes with this one. And the warning is, by golly, we need to protect our energy. We need to protect our energy, my darlings, from whomever. So I have an idea. I'm going to say this. I think I'm just going to say a little something, and you all can join me. And we're going to try to break this, because it is very powerful what they are doing in the undercurrent to make things happen against Karen. And I want you to know, people can laugh at this all they want to. That's fine. But desperate people who feel that they are so powerful will do desperate things. And that also includes invoking unnatural spirits, unnatural darkness to come and assist. They just don't realize that it will eventually come back on them. So this is what I want to say. By the light of the truth, by the hand of justice, by the spirit of clarity, all dark workings are undone. All bindings are broken. All confusion is lifted. The rightful path is revealed. So be it. Believe that, because that is much stronger than this. And I will tell you what else, my darlings. This will be found out. There will be something that comes through that they will find out where this rock came from and the people that did it. This is nefarious. This is meant to harm, and many people are saying this is jury tampering. Yes, it is, on the not so good side. And I'm not talking legally. This is to compel. This is to get them, because once you look at something like that, it's ingrained with you. The ground remembers what the living try to forget. Keep the faith, my darlings. Things are going to work out okay. Don't worry, because those who move unseen leave signs for those who know. Everything is going to work out, and I want to thank you so much for your support and for being here. I want you to know how much I love you, and I also want you to know that you mean so much to me, and I'm just overwhelmed with your just generosity and support always. But we asked to free Karen
justice for John, prayers for all, but these people are now bound, and the truth will come out. You watch and see. Thanks for watching, my darlings. Take care. I'll see you again soon.
Okay there, my darlings. Oops, hold on. No, we don't want to talk to you, Ted. Get back. Get back. Shoo. Shoo. Okay. There we are. There we are again. Here we are again. Welcome back, my darlings. That was pretty good. You know what? I got to tell you, it's rare that I go back and look at my previous readings. Now, some questions came out, and I want you to know that they don't know where the rock went to. The rock has disappeared. The rock is gone. The rock went, I don't know. The rock just went away. Now, that is based on a deck called Hidden. It is read differently than the regular Cartomancy deck, just so you know. And if you'd like to read the Hidden deck, it is in the Psychic Shop. I wrote an ebook. It tells you about each card. And there are hidden symbols in this Hidden deck. It is really something else. So that is available. You could start reading that tonight. I do not carry the Hidden decks. You can actually get one on Amazon. I actually got mine at Walgreens, a pharmacy store. So it's a different deck. It's a different deck. These are skulls, and it's hidden, and it's deep, it's dark, and it's yeah. So there we are. So I don't believe that it's under, I believe that it was brought there to do its little work, and then it was taken away. It could be anybody. I mean, let's think about it. But my question is, and always has been, don't you think the new owners of 34 Fairview Road would most likely have a ring cam? Because they had one when they saw Jennifer Cloak and Dagger there and called her out on it. Don't you think? Don't you think? They might know. They may know. And oh, I want to find out everything. I want to see. I really want to meet these people, because I'm going to tell you, they're probably not bothered by energy, except for the idea that something has happened in that house. Most likely makes them sick. Not physically, but it would make me sick to know that, oh my heck, something happened. You know, there was a fight night in our basement, or there was a fight night and somebody was unalived in our garage when they knew that Karen was coming. So hurry up, get him out on the lawn. Hurry. I'm a true believer that they took him back around the house, because they knew that their neighbor, Miss Chung, was like the nosy neighbor. They knew. So they didn't want her seeing anything. And that side, and it was a blustery night, and that side of the fence and also the side of those trees made it just blurry enough that you just couldn't see. Of course, I do believe that, Auntie BB, that we're going to see some talk about the rock and the side boss, because they brought it up, and Auntie Bev just, I guess, didn't think that anything was about it. So, you know. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's you know, sometimes when I do Gladys Kravitz, that's exactly right. But you know, sometimes, like when I put out these videos, Mrs. Kravitz, like when I say, let me see what's on the cloth, I don't see the things until I go back and take a look at it. And it was actually the one video, I wish I knew which one it was, that someone said, "Oh my God, did you see that card move?" It literally moved on its own. Kind of freaked a lot of people out. I didn't see it until, oh, I've got the hair, and he's right here. Oh, you see him. Well, there's more than one. Culprits, a conspiracy with my bangs. So, anyway, sometime I wish I could see that. I wish I could see that. I would show it to you. The one I'm trying to find is that when Yuri Buchanan, I guess. I don't like to say that other name because he's so gross. I don't even want to invoke any type of thing over. He's just ugh. Mr. Khaki Pants. Yeah, a lot of you did see it move. Mr. Khaki Pants. There is that video when Hank, when he was on the stand, and Hank was talking to him, and he jumped while he was on the stand, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that bag was moving. I about shapeshifted." What more proof do we need to have that John's energy was in the courtroom? How much more do we need? If I could find it, I want to go on the trial channel and find that, because I want to show that. And I think it was around May 8th or May 9th. And I don't feel like going and watching that whole testimony over and over and over again. Ugh. So there we are. Okay, so there's something else I want to talk to you before I have to leave you. Oh, okay, for those of you who didn't see, the evidence bag, after Yuri was picking up everything and they removed stuff and they put it back in the bag, Yuri sits down on the back on the witness stand, and he jumped and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that bag, the evidence bag, made a noise." I'm like, shapeshift me now. Because that right there, this was the second, and I need to go in to that beautiful person who puts together all of these testimonies and trials and everything on the trial channel on this tube of views. And he looks spooked. He looks spooked. I wish I knew what video that it was a video after the first trial. But oh my heck, do we know how many that happened? That would take me forever to go through all those videos. I mean, I could go through the comments, but that was wild, and it kind of spooked. Yeah, well, we didn't see the bag move. We didn't see it. We didn't hear it. It was Yuri that had this reaction. That was, give me a second. The man of the house is hungry. We didn't hear or see anything. It was, he had this reaction where he jumped. I mean, he literally, you could see him. He's jumped and he went, "Oh gosh, sorry, that bag moved." If I were sitting on the jury right there in front of him, but in between, I would be like, "It's because evil, buddy. You're emitting all this evil from the witness stand. Hello." Yikes. He looked like he saw a ghost. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? That would be wonderful. So definitely. So I want to get to that point. I want to find that so we can look. So that would be amazing. I have another little thing I want to show you. Let me find it. Since we're on this thing. Let me find, oh, well, first of all, let me show this to you because this is what's coming. Look at that. The ice cream truck. Look at this. The federal bubble of ice cream. And look, there's Jen and Carrie waiting right on the... Let's play this again. There we are. Hello. There they go. There they go. There they go. But I have another little something I want to something I want to show you. Let me find it because I had to bury it into the storage. Let me see. Where are we? Hello. Let me put this big so I can see. That would be nice if I could see. They're all like these little... What? Let me see if I can find it. It's my vision of what Jen experienced on the stand. Let me see this. No. Let me see. I may not be able to find it, but it was quite lovely. It was quite good. Let me see. Oh, talk amongst yourselves, my darling. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me find where this lovely little thing is. Let me find... No, it's not there. It's quite good. I think many of you have seen it before. Let me put it there. No. No. Let me see. I don't know. I'm going to have to find it. We'll play it another time. But it's an experience for Jen. It's an experiment for Jen on the I forgot the butternut ice cream. I don't eat ice cream a lot, but anyway, yeah. So, my darlings, I got something else I want to talk to you about. Because there's a lot of this coming up. And first of all, I want to tell you, because I know Lord Gregor just can't contain himself in the chat and is talking about the podcast, and it will be available soon. But we had our first, thank you, my darling Ruby. We had at first our first little go. And we were talking about how he first met me and I first met him and why. And that got to me. It brought me to tears. It got to me so bad that I had to just say, look, I need a minute. Because there is so much energy there. And there's literally something going on with the thinning of the veil. And you're going to hear... When you hear this podcast, you will be transfixed and mesmerized at his story and how this brings into my life and how we are like meshed together. It's not romantic. It is a esoteric story. It is a psychic story. It is a ancient story. It involves Croatia. It involves my family from Görlitz. It involves his family from Croatia and then into Europe. And it's huge. And he explains what had happened and the many, I'm going to say decades and maybe even centuries of wars, famines,
plagues. But then there's that part that involves me. And he told me something about my family that only me and my family knew. Nobody, I don't broadcast it, and I mean my ancestors. Adelie von Gordlitz. And I'm telling you, it took my breath away. And it was a confirmation that I knew that he knew. And some of the things that he is saying and sharing with me, it's quite amazing. So it is me that's holding it up because I am very moved by the whole thing. It is very mind-blowing when you hear this. And he will explain what happened from the time that he was born, because as many of you know, he is red-headed, and that is a curse. And many back in those days, in the 1500s, believed that it was a part of witchcraft, believed he was a monster when he was first born and was banished. And he explains this whole thing and how this lady that worked with them in Croatia took him. And so anyway, so yeah, but I'm digging the redheaded thing. See, listen, I'm just going to tell you right now, I flirt like there is no tomorrow with Lord Gregor. And bless him, he just kind of giggles and laughs. But he kind of flirts with me too, and it's just kind of fun. But that is... Okay, give me a second. That is something that I'm not so quite sure of, because he doesn't come away from Vale Keep, is the name of his castle. And I don't come away from House of Zelda. Right, Lord Gregor? But you can imagine if the Lord and Lady were in the same room, we would, bless his heart, we would probably laugh so much. I told him, because he tells me that my son and I can go there at any time. We could just move, lock, stock, and barrel. Boy, don't, hello, where am I going? Don't tempt me. My browser keeps going crazy. So, don't tempt me. But I got to tell you this. The poor man. He doesn't sleep, but I would force myself not to sleep because I would be talking. Yes, he has a heart. I would be talking to him nonstop. He is that interesting. I would be talking to him nonstop for days. I'd probably just conk out, snore a little bit, and wake up and say, okay, now I need to know this. Tell me about Napoleon. Tell me about Mademoiselle Lenormand. Tell me. Whoa. How do you move to another country if you were a U.S. citizen? It's not that hard. It's called an expat, but you don't have to give up your citizenship. He is, I suppose, unalived. He's been around for 500 years. But he does have a heart. He does have a heart. It's not like anything. He's not like Twilight. He doesn't glow. It's not like, he's not like, these thirsty fellows. He's not like the ones that I met in New Orleans. So it's different. It's different. Yes, he is very handsome. All right, my darlings, give me a second here, my darlings. Talk amongst yourself because me son wants something to eat and I've got to order something because I'm certainly not going to leave you because I got something else I want to talk to you about. So give me a moment. Give me a moment. Let me see. Do you know? All righty then. I just want to make sure that I'm on course. But I think Lord Gregor would like to have the company. I think he would. Because, you know, he's kind of cool. He's a cool dude. And I don't call people dudes, but I'll call him a dude. He's cool. But when you hear this, because listen, at first, you know, I'm like, oh, there's nothing like being catfished by a vampire. No. No, thank you. But then the more we talked, pardon me, I need a different pair of glasses that don't glare. Oh, there we are. Now, I don't know why I do the UK accent with him all the time because he's not UK and I can't speak with a Croatian accent. It's very old European. I've not heard that accent in a very, very long time. Give me a second, my darlings. Oh, what's it gonna be? Here we are. What do we see? What do we see? All right. Oh, okay. Let me take a look here. Let me see what double whopper. Takes 2 hands to handle the whopper. A whopper. I wish I could have found that Jen McCabe thing. You guys would have been hysterically laughing. Here we are. No pickle or tomato. You got it, son. I've been on this Diet Dr. Pepper kick. All right, no tomato and pickle. All right. See if that's right. Well, I think I might have one too. If I get something to eat, yes. If I get something to eat, would you guys mind if I sat here and ate with you while we talked? Is that okay with you? Because if not, it's okay. I can end it because I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. Strawberry and cream, doctor. Oh, gosh. I'm not a big strawberry person. Pardon me. No, I can eat. Is that okay if I eat in front of you? Okay. Okay. Now I might do a whopper myself. Sorry. Lord Gregor has never had a whopper. He has never had In-N-Out burger. He has never had fried chicken. But if I go over there, I may have to tell him that it takes 2 hands to handle the whopper. Oh, God, poor Gregor. Where, oh, my blessed man. Oh, boy. This poor guy. This poor man. He's in for it, I'm telling you.
Okay. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Well, of course I have a crush on him. I'd be a fool. Look, take a look at him. He's smart as can be. He's like a professor. That's my type. He's very respectful of women. I mean, he and Mr. Darcy have ruined my thought of dating. I know it sounds all too romantic, but I have to give him a hard time. All right, I'm ordering now because otherwise I will be. Has anybody had the onion rings from oh, I got a pain in my side. Oh, from laughing too hard. Oh. Oh. No ice, please. I don't get ice in my drinks. Let me see. No onion. All right. Cut that baby in half. Absolutely. Never. No, I don't do ice in my drinks. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons in a minute. Let me see. I'll tell you in a minute. Let me order. Can they make a U vamp also if you wanted, like in the movies? Sarv is a no. I understand. I don't think so. I don't think so. And for me, that would keep us apart because he would be this young and stunning. And oh, where's Zelda? I don't know. She doesn't remember where the heck she is. Oh, she's that old bat in the corner with the cobwebs on her. Yeah. I'll tell you why, though, in a minute for no ice. Give me a moment, please. Colin Firth is so dreamy. He is, but oh, that Pride and Prejudice helped me today. When he's walking through the field, oh, I have a pain. I laughed too hard. Oh, here we are. There we go. Lovely. No D&E pizza. Please cancel that order from D&E. No D and crack pizza. Listen, you will know me. Okay, you will know me because everything I say is a crack. No crack D&E pizza. So, okay, let me turn this to the side so we don't glare. All right, my darlings, I'm going to tell you why I don't get ice in the drinks. Number one, they do the whole bloody. Hello, let's just fill up the whole ding dang cup of ice and give you about that much of pop. If I'm going to drink pop, I want the whole bloody thing. Number two, where does their water come from that they have the ice? Sometimes they ship it in. What kind of ice are they? What kind of water are they making ice out of? That's kind of gross. I don't like that. But, that's just me. So, yes, moldy ice. Yeah, and you get, yeah, exactly. Alan Rickman is not the truth and hello today. Are you able to wake yourself up from a dream, like a scary dream? I've been able to do it since I was young, my friends. Yes, I am. Yes, I have been. Yeah, I learned to do that. I learned to do the, this is only a dream, Zelda, get with the program and wake your crack up. Yes, I have been. Oh, give me a second. Oh, there is Mrs. Marie.
There we go. There we go. Anyway, so yes, it did have one of John's shoes in the bag, but I don't believe that's John's shoes. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe it. Don't believe it. If I could only sleep right. I don't sleep very well. But I don't have to sleep. I get usually about maybe 3 or 4 hours a night. And then sometimes I'll lay down. I did order. Thank you so much, Miss Jules. Sometimes I will lay down like before lunch and just kind of grab a little siesta, and then boomola, I'm up again. Ice cold drinks are a shock to your body. Yeah, I don't like them. They're cold enough to me when they come about. They're cold enough for me. No, I don't hear the knocking. We do hear noises around here, though. This place is haunted. My son, pardon me, I've got hiccups. My son hears the screaming, and he'll come in, check on me. Then I'll come and check on him. But I'm always awake at around between 2 and 3 a.m. I'm always awake. So I'm reading all you guys. So now the only thing that I'm doing is I'm working on my Thanksgiving menu. All right, so now I want to talk to you while I'm waiting on the king of burgers. I want to talk to you about Interstate I-40. Now, if you're not in the United States, Interstate I-40 runs the entire length of the United States. Interstate 40 is deemed by our friends at the three-letter organization as the most dangerous interstate, and especially in the Oklahoma area. Oklahoma is the #1 state for missing women along Interstate I-40. And those women happen to be Native Americans. The Native American Indian women in the state of Oklahoma. So I'm telling you that I-40, Interstate 40, is becoming more and more treacherous. If you happen to be, it's the truckers. They're saying that the truckers are the most, because there are stretches of Interstate 40 that do not have cell phone. If you break down, you're playing with fire. And they're saying that it is so horrible that they're saying that if you can now, don't travel by yourself, and don't travel by yourself with kids at night, because you're going to be in big trouble. And that's what they're saying. No PD. And that's the deal. There are lots of stretches of wooded areas along I-40, Interstate 40. It's just a long stretch. It's Interstate 40.
And it's the ley lines. That's exactly right. It's the ley line of Interstate 40. And now when I do that in the Zeldon Codex, hello, this is Petey. Look at that belly. He doesn't miss a meal. In the idea, there's wooded areas. The wooded areas, my darling, have never been searched, never been gone into. They don't have the manpower. Get your tires checked, get your gasoline, get your water checked, your fluids checked, get everything checked before you go out. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story that I had on I-40, and that's when I was first on Facebook and decided that I just had to post everything everywhere, blah, blah, blah. I just got another car and I was in severe, what the heck is this? Oh, it's part of his flea collar that has come off. No, son. No. I was in Sevier County, living near Gatlinburg, Tennessee. My home office was in Nashville. I would usually get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because I had a very nice car that would just tickety boom and sail right on through. And I waited a little longer. I waited until about 3 or 3:30 in the morning to leave and made a mistake. I put it on Facebook that I would be leaving. I would be on Interstate 40 and I would be skipping on down the road to Nashville. And I put the time that I left. And I took a picture of me loading my car. So there, and this is the dangers, my darlings. You don't want to do what Zelda did. So I'm driving. And all of a sudden, there's a car that comes up behind. And the car's obviously following me and getting very close and starting to flash its lights at me. Well, that kind of scared me. And there was a trucker in front of me, and then there was a trucker behind me. Now, I didn't have problems with the trucker, but it was this particular car that was behind me. So I had an OnStar option. I clicked my little OnStar, and I was very nervous, and I said, look, yes, it says SK is exactly right. I am in trouble. There's somebody following me. And they could tell, because OnStar is one of these, it's a satellite. They can tell you exactly where it is and, where you are and blah, blah, blah. So she said, you're coming up to an exit. If you can make it, because my friends, I was going about 90 miles an hour trying to get away from this and following these trucks. And evidently, the one truck behind this guy kind of understood and was communicating with the trucker in front of me. So the trucker in front of me moved over quickly to the left-hand lane and kind of flashed its lights. So I knew he was flashing me to go on and get past him, because I also knew there was an exit coming up. I missed the exit. We were going too fast and I would have wrecked if that would have happened. And I didn't want to do that. So just as that car behind me started to speed up and wanted to come, that guy started just veering right over to the right to protect him. Well, this car zippity-doo-don right on around. So we're going down this road, and all of a sudden this trucker comes up behind and comes around, going around, and I slowed down enough that he could get around. And then the guy, it was all strategic. The bottom line is these truckers boxed me in because they knew this guy was trying to stop me.
and they could see I was by myself. So the lady on the kept saying, you know, we have a statey coming, which is a highway state patrol from Tennessee. We have a statey coming. They're asking, there's another ramp coming. And I said, is this a ramp? Does this have life around it? Is there something? And she said, yes, there's a McDonald's, there's all these things, there's a trucker thing, there's a pilot station, there's all these places around. And she said, it's not an abandoned, you could get off there. And I said, okay. And she was telling me, because I couldn't see, and she was telling me, she said, you're going to have to trust me. And you're going to have to slow down a little bit or you're not going to make it. And I said, at this point, I'm so scared. I don't know if I'm going to make it anyhow. And she said, don't you worry. You slow down a little bit. You pump your brakes. It'll tell the trucker behind you to slow down. They know that there's an exit coming. So I slowed down a little bit and she just kept telling me, and she said, there's a statey behind following you. There is one in front, and I just noticed that I passed one on the meridian in the middle of the road. And she said, he will be coming up, and she said, there is one now parked at that ramp to get off of I-40. So it was coming up, and she said, are you ready? You gotta be ready to turn or to veer off in 20 seconds. And she counted me down, and I'm not kidding. I was scared. I have chills now. I want to cry. She counted me down, and she's like, okay, Zelda, here we go. 20, 19. And she told me, she said, okay, now time to go. And I veered right over and made it. I mean, it was all like, I could have very easily not made it. I made it. When I got off that ramp, there was a police officer waiting there for me. And that guy that was following me got off on the same ramp. I don't know how he did it, but he about wiped out. So we were going up into the ramp, and there was a police officer there. And the moment that guy behind me got off on that ramp, it was like, I don't know where they came out of. These highway state patrol, they were right on this guy. And at that point, when I had stopped, I was in tears because I'm like, the adrenaline. And so the one police officer, or the statey that was there, I said, you know what? I didn't get out of the car. I went around, and he goes, are you doing okay? And I said, yes, sir. I'm trying to get to Nashville. And he said, well, I'm going to tell you. He said, I can follow you a little way until we get to a certain, and then I'm going to have to turn around, but I think you'll be okay. And I said, that's fine. Thank you so much. And we did that. And I can tell you this right now. I will never travel on I-40 alone again. And especially after I heard today what was going on Interstate 40 with all the missing people, not just women, but missing people. And it's like, holy mackerel. So that's, my darlings, the Interstate 40. And anybody who is around there, or anybody, I was terrified. That is absolutely correct. I was terrified because it was my fault. And I know people that are close to me that puts their pictures of the outside of their house, and they put this on, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and here's my kids. The company that I am with that we've done humanitarian funding for I've done it for over 15 years. They're out of Canada. And periodically we have security. We have security about calls. We have security come in and talk to us about traveling alone, what type of home to live in. And believe me, I've had my security talk already about buying a new home. What the security system, what you want to do, seriously, since I've been having these talks,
My front door does no longer open in, it opens outward. And that may seem awkward, but somebody coming trying to ram your door down, it's going to be very hard for them to break your door in instead of, because if it swings, if it's hinged outward, they're not going to be able to break it in very, very hard. So there's all kinds of different things, security measures and everything else. And of course, that's why I'm looking, because any home that I get into would definitely have to be modified. I mean, that's just the way it would be. That's the way I live. And it's not because I'm a scaredy cat. Frankly, well, I am of the human realm. I'm not so scared of those things that go bump in the night. And if you don't go bump in the night, Lord Gregor, you're good. So, but that's bottom line. And for any of you, because I see this, I seriously see this on Facebook with friends and family, where they show where they're going on vacation, and they show where they're parking their new car, and they show, no, you get a little thing on your head, like a little target. Thank you, Linda. And seriously, so when I get my new home, oh, that's right, Rosemary, that's right. There you go, Crystal. When I get my new home, my darlings, I will show you the inside of my home, certain things. I'm not going to show you the outside, obviously. I'm not going to tell you where it is exactly. And don't think that I'm being poopy pants, because I don't. Because many of you are fantastically fine. It's that very small percentage. I just got a big ring in my ear again. It's that very small percentage that I would be very cautious about. Because think of it. Think of the people at 34 Fairview. Oh my gosh, Zelda, can you please stop with the hair? Yes. You think about the people at 34 Fairview. Everybody knows about them. Even the little Amityville house. What is it? 212. They changed the address thinking that nobody would. Oh, not like we don't know that house. They changed the windows from the cat eye windows to the regular windows in the top of the house. Hello, we know that house. But think about that. Those people, only because of what happened there, have to have protection, and they have to, I mean, they are but do I blame them? No, because you just don't know. The house that Christopher Watts lived in Colorado has been, or had been, for sale for quite some time by the new owners, and they left. They were getting a divorce because they were renovating, and they also had problems in the house with the spirit world type of things. But thank you, Miss Jules. But the people, and when I talked to the realtor, a real estate agent was what I was going to say. When I talked to the realtor, and when I talked to a police officer, he said these people that lived there, he said there would be people on their porch taking pictures of the inside. They didn't care. People would jump the fences. How do people do that? I just don't. I'd be scared. I mean, seriously, I'm a wiener when it comes to that. You don't violate somebody else's property or rights or anything else like that. You go and you do your thing, and you mind your own beeswax, and goodbye. That's it. That's Milmy. Well, I don't believe in spirits being in limbo, only because of the study that I have done into the word
I don't believe God is so lame to allow people that he loved and created to just linger. I believe it is their energy that lingers behind. And if you study physics, you'll come to that conclusion as well, that it is because of that staying behind. It is the energy. I got to tell you this. Tonight on the Talkatics, I sometimes slide through there because I want to know what's going on. And I saw this EVP that these two women were having for Charlie Kirk. Now, they had an app that it seriously sounded like Charlie Kirk's voice coming through this app. Can it be a mimic? Yes. Can it be a mocker? Yes, it can. But it actually mentioned Erica Kirk. But I want you to know, and this is why I don't post any of these things on here, because I don't care. You could have a person committing the most sins in the whole world, and if they have something to say about what you're doing and on the talkie tick are the worst troll. Yo, my. If you think that the Twix is bad, look out. They are ruthless. And that's why I'm not on there, because I'm not going to get caught up into that. People are cruel and evil. But back to this. This whole thing, this EVP that sounded like Charlie Kirk. And I want to go back and listen to it again. But, I'm the first one. Let's go to the comments. Hello. And you should see all the people in there. Oh, you're going to the hot place. You're going to HE double hockey sticks. You're going to here. You're going to there. You're not supposed to talk to the dead. You're not supposed to do. And it's like, people stop. You don't know. But, you can't get involved with that type of thing because, hello. If you did, goodbye. And that I don't know if you know this or not, but it was actually Tesla. And you can find this. I might find it if I can find it and play it. But Tesla actually invented the first EVP machine, and it was energy that he was garnering. And you could hear these voices, and it freaked him out. It might not have been Tesla. I'm sorry. It might have been Edison that did it. I think it was. I think it was Thomas Edison that did it. Whoever one it was. Regardless, that was back at the turn of the last century. And you could hear this going on. Now, what was it? That was energy. Tesla, it was all about energy, right? So but if you would have heard that tonight, that kind of gave me chills. And then I'm thinking, what app is that? Because that was a voice, and believe me, I don't know what John O'Keefe's voice sounds like. But I would certainly I want to in the QT find out what app they were using, because they were paranormal people, that they weren't just playing around. But I just kind of feel like people, if somebody has a big hello, PD. If somebody has a big opinion like that, you know what? Now, this is going to be my motto. Ready? Please feel free to fornicate thyself, and thou steed in which thou hast ridden in on. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. I would love to hear that real voice. I'm going to research it. Because, see, here's the thing. I don't call back spirits. I don't want to talk to the dead. Because that kind of thing, quite frankly, it can lie to you. You don't know who it is. It can lie to you. But energy doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. Energy doesn't lie. And to me, that's what it's all about. There you go. See? See, I don't say those big words. I don't drop those things because to me, it just goes against my grain. Not that I'm not against anybody. Let her rip, Tater Chip. If you want to say them, I'm here going bravo. Yeah. But it doesn't fit with me. Because if I start dropping F-bombs and everything else here, you're going to say, ooh, that looks so out of character. And it is. But saying it in quite a lovely accent of someone fornicating themselves, and thou steed in which thou hast ridden in on, kind of eases that pain a little bit, don't you think? But it still gets the point across. But I feel bad for these people. I'm going to try to find it again. I'll see what happens. But you know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I'm seeing this here. I'm going to say this. I love people, but I love my animals. And if you show me a movie where an animal or a little kid gets hurt, I will bawl like a baby and I will raise up. There will be, whatever. But you give me somebody that's being a jerk, flatten them. Let it go. Oh, hello, my darling. Look who's here. Look who's there, my darling. Hi, Richie, my darling. How are you? I'm so happy to see you. You've been working on these videos so hard. And you, my darling, they are amazing. I want you to know. They're amazing. And of all things, that English accent that Richie's for microdot for. Oh, hello. You had me at hello. Yes, I love it. I'm so happy to see you too, Richie. Thank you for dropping in. I just love, and for those of you who are on Patreon, Patreon is where it's at when you want to see Richie's. You'll be the first. He drops them on Patreon first. Bravo work, top shelf. He's the one for me. And after this whole thing, we get the holidays done, and, there's going to be some big things coming. I'm going to head up there, and I'm going to meet with Richie. I'm going to take him by the little hand, and I'm going to say, now it's time to ghost hunt. Get your cameras ready, baby, because we're going. And that'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait. But of course, it will be based on Richie's schedule as well. But that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to go ghost hunting. That's right. Amen to that. We're going ghost hunting. You're going ghost hunting. I don't know, Richie. Earlier we were talking about. Give me a second, because I've got a DoorDasher coming. We were talking about going to 34 Fairview when it's all over. I would love to do that. You can certainly do that. Come with us. I would love that, because I want to see what the energy is, but we're certainly not going to just bludger right in. We're definitely going to get permission of the homeowners. And if they don't give it to us, that's okay too. We certainly understand. We certainly understand. I don't think we will go live with it. But I think, I'll talk to you about that, my darling, because there's a couple of places that I think that we need to haunt ourselves. But I would love to go there. I would love to go there. And I don't believe that we will go live during that, because I do want to respect the owners if they allow us to speak with us freely, and then we can edit as needed if we need to. and then go from there. So with that being said, I feel that, yeah, that's PD McFarlane. Look, Paranormal PD back here in his little flea collar is doing some thingies. So anyway, but Richie, one of the things that we were talking about early, and yeah, I don't want to. I don't think it's a live thing. Oh, my food is here. If you no, we're not going to do it live. We'll be doing it as almost a documentary. So if you could just excuse me just for one moment. Oh no, here comes my son. Here he comes to save the day. Can you get it? It's at the door, buddy. Shall we sing that? Let's do. Here he comes to save the day, like a bolt from the blue. He is wise and true, fighting evil, fighting crime, and always there in the nick of time. So here he comes to save the day, proof that crime has never paid. So let the trumpet players play. Da-da-da-da. 'Cause my son is here today. There we go. Thank you very much. He got the food and it has now been recovered without incident. Anyway, Richie, what I was going to say to you, my darling, what gets me going with this 34 Fairview is this, and I'll try to make, Ian is a hero, he is. It's the idea that Dr. La Posada told us about John's injury in the back of his head, and basically that he just had minutes to survive that. At some point, someone in that house, or there, in my opinion, had to make a decision. Oh, thank you, Ian. Look at what I have. I shall be crowned. So someone had to make a collective decision. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. They had to make a collective decision to say, we can either help John and we can call 911 and we can help him live, or if he lives and he testifies, then we're all going down. I got a Dr. Pepper. Then we're all going down. That makes me sick to think about that. Yeah, if you want to put a crown in the chat, we all know who it is. Captain Jerry says she was hoping that I would get a crown. Well, listen. But that whole thing right there about this whole case, who came up with that idea and who made that decision to wield the final blow to John? I shudder to think. I kind of sort of have an idea who it is. I'm not going to say because, well, hello. And look, it is Burger King night. The order is complete. The Queen is here. What else could we want, right? Thank you so much. We have to smile and we have to laugh because there's so much going on in many court cases around us. We got to keep a good sense of humor, except for these bangs. They're not giving me good humor tonight. But the Queen has entered. So there we are. Burger Queen. It should say. Where's my marker? I'll fix that. I'll fix them. Dairy Queen, no. No more. Give me a second, my darlings. I have to get up to get my chow for now. Can you give me a second? I just have to get up and get my chow, and I'll be right back, okay? Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to be dethroned just a minute so I don't lose that. Talk amongst yourself. We're going to take just a little bit of an intermission, and I will be right back. Big hugs to each and every one of you. Give me a second. Here we go.
Here we are back again. Thank you so much, my darlings. Just had to take that little break. Don't want to be. Has anybody seen how Ian Runkle is doing? Anybody see how he's doing? Dear Ellen Rosenberg, pardon me, I'm going to make some, let me, I'm going to mute just a second because I'm going to be rattling this bag. Oh, I guess I didn't mute after all. Duh, Zelda. I'm so sorry. I know that bothers a lot of buddies. I'm so glad for Ian. Listen, he is such a wonderful fellow. He's a, oh, give me a second. More rattling coming. Unmute. All right. There we are. Thank you so much, my darlings. Onion rings. And I won't get through the whole thing. I always have them cut it in half for me. Contrary to belief, my mouth isn't that big to be taking such a large sandwich. Listen, we don't get this kind of thing often. And when my son said, "Do you feel like Burger King?" Ha, color me there. Hello, I even took my ring off. It's getting serious over here. And that, look at Paranormal PD. Look how it looks like he's just looking right at Poe. Does that just not... That just cracks me up. Somebody just sent me a Venmo, and I want to thank you so much for that. That means so much to me. It helps the channel keep going. I love their onion rings. I don't know what they do to onion rings, but I love them. And they have this little spicy sauce. I don't know. My kitties don't go outside. They won't come back. It's too dangerous around here for them. Kat just had Papa John's anchovy and black olive. I'm there for that. Just don't put pineapple. I'll eat it, but I'm not a pineapple person on pizza. A&W. I love sweet potato fries. Thank you, Mary. I love it. It's the dipping sauce. It is zesty. It is zesty. You had a moose burger for supper. Pardon if I speak with my mouth full. I don't know what a moose burger is. Yeah, listen, I open the door and you get cheese turds with it. Oh, I love cheese turds at A&W. Moose meat? Oh my. Okay, so if I open up the front door, because every morning I do that, whether it's cold or hot or do whatever, just to get some air in, just to get, whatever. They just sit here on my table because it's real close to the front door, and they just look at me like, "Where's your mother and when is she coming back?" I mean, they don't make it. Now, Sam used to make a run for it. Culver's came to Florida and you haven't had the curds. The curds and whey. I just remembered the cheese turds, right? That's a great time. I have to tell you what, Thursday night, I really missed our Help I'm Haunted. Drusilla. I love the name. And I love the picture. Look at those lipsticks. Yes, my darling, I have. I have dowsing rods and I have a pendulum. I personally like the pendulum, especially if I'm walking around a lot. But the dowsing rods, if I'm sitting, is good as long as I have my arms anchored, stable, because it's too hard for me to walk around because I'm lots of energy. But sometimes I'll just use one. I don't have to use two. I just use one because it still does the same thing. In a pinch, I've used pencils. I've tied a string on a safety pin and pinned it on something else if I needed to use a pendulum. I've used a necklace. I mean, so it just depends. Oh wait, there we go. Need to put the little crown to the side, man. It's not stupid at all, Patty. Dowsing rods are what you use for energy. And for me, I mean, I've used metal coat hangers. To me, that works the best. But it's like this little handle that bends like an L, and then there's this part and they'll move. They'll cross when energy is, or a yes or no number. It's really quite interesting. My grandfather was considered the water witch of our county. Yes, I kind of like it crooked because that just gives me, I just feel like I have an edge. I'll tell you what, when I was in the missing persons gig, it was my pendulum that found more, because there's a certain way that I do it with a map. Thank you, Allison. I'm excited to come. I love that name, Drusilla. Tales from True Article. I think you meant Oracle or Article. Oh, my Sammy's just a little cold, but it's okay. Yeah, this crown has my bangs banging, that's for sure. Now I'm just sitting here talking and eating while I'm watching all of you talk. I wish we could be eating together. No, I'm the True Article of True Oracle. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you. But it would be, my grandfather would use, sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. My grandfather would use a willow branch. That's the kind of wood that you're supposed to use. Well, Help I'm Haunted may be gone, but it is not forgotten. Zelda, can indoor cats get fleas? I've never protected. Oh, yeah. Hello. I'm in the South because you can bring them in when you go outside, and they will jump. You'll bring them in. But I salt my carpets, and all of a sudden we got a warm spell down here, and these guys just kind of. But when it's cold, they go dormant. So I'm cleaning my carpets constantly and washing their stuff. It's a thing. Fleas are horrible. Yeah, the willow branch. Hi there, Adriana. You missed the map show. I mean, the app show. Boy, that app thing was an hour of app. I'm thinking, what have I done? That was really something. Oh, Drusilla, thank you. Welcome. I can tell you this. This is the first live that I've sat here and ate in front of you, I think, in 2 years. Please feel free to have a snack. Well, maybe what I'll do sometime is I'll show you how to use the pendulum the way that I do it. I think that would be fun. And mods, I understand if you're getting tired and you need to buzz off. It's okay. Okay, hold on, my darlings. Let me see. So, hi there. Oh, look, I love your picture. So I told Trisha from Web Sleuths that you're my #1 vote for club. Oh, that would be wonderful. She does Woo Woo Saturdays where they tell fun stories, and she requested a real one to come on and help her understand. She's more than welcome to reach out to me because I love their channel. And don't forget Tuesday night coming on the 18th at 7 p.m. Calling All Beings. I will be there on a round table with Boston Bia, Dream Zelda, Dream Feed Media, hello, and maybe a few others. I think Janet, Misdemeanor. Yes, you can, Adriana. I don't know what we're talking about, quite frankly. But it doesn't matter because I love them all. They're just wonderful people. Okay, Patty. Well, thank you very much for being here, my darling. I'm not going to be live much longer. No worries, darling. Get some rest. And here's to the Dr. Pepper fan. I don't drink pop. This is going to be like hello. My pleasure always. Yes, I love Dream Feed.
I can't even say why. Dream Feed Media. Grace is her name. I love her. And thank you so much for the Venmo. I will read it shortly. Oh my gosh. Miss Jules, you are the only one that I've seen in a long time say mowing. I mowed down. Is that mowing or mowing? I took it as mowing because that's what I say. Mowing dinner. Hello. Thank you so much, Paige, for coming in and sharing that. That is so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I just love that. Yes, Madeline, that it was very good. Melanie has been so busy. I have asked her back, so we'll see what happens. Hi, Barb. Thank you. No disrespect taken. Mowing is a thing. All I can remember is I think it was a 4, a number 4 where it moved. I wish move. I wish I could remember where it was. Because I cannot wait for you to see it, because a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, this card moved. Ian is actually working right now, but he said to tell you all hello. Shaggy Noodle is a noodle. Buzz off. Goodbye. Petey is a big weenie. Yeah, maybe so, Madeline. I have a lot of people to meet while I'm up there, so that'll be fine. Paige, both you and Trisha are my favorites, and if I can get 2 of my favorites in one show, heck yeah. Oh, that's so kind. I like her. Plus, she needs some help with her experiences, and first person came to mind was, I'm here for it. I would love it. Cindy Calzo would not be a guest on my show. I've asked. There are a lot of onion rings. I can't even get through them. Cindy Kaza is a beautiful person. Oh my. Is a beautiful person who is a medium, who used to be on a show on Discovery called The Holzer Files. Mercury Star, I did not know that. Because you know what? I'm very cautious about asking people who may or may not have had any experience with cards or anything like that, or there's a certain, I love Linda, and I would just love to have her here on the show and just pick her brain.
That's exactly. I'll tell you what I'd really like to do. I would like to have a lawyer on here that they themselves can ask me questions about cases. Did you see how we did this we did it with Janet misdemeanor and we did it with attorney Nan. But I would like to have a lawyer come on here. We ask and I pull out cards and give answers for that. And by the way, I just want to let you know, I actually read for misdemeanors sister-in-law, who is adorable. Now, of course, I can't tell you what we said, but she is fantastic, just like Janet. I did not know that Linda is representing Aiden in Jersey. She's top shelf. It's okay. I don't think that Cindy thinks that she would not have a good time on my show. I just think that we're two different elements. We're two different. Look, I'm going to attack this other half of this Whopper with pickles hanging out. I have not seen the movie We. Rosemary Scarpicchio, listen. If I were going to be an attorney, you know who she reminds me of? Anne Burrell. And I loved Anne Burrell. I love that. I think they are all wonderful in their wonderful way. They each have such talent. And with me eating with my mouth full, I apologize. I don't know what he did with his flea collar, but hello, it's got to be fixed. But he's just sitting there. Somebody is outside my... I love the bravery of the hair. Listen, you do not come after a woman who wears her hair like Rosemary Scarpicchio and Anne Burrell, because they have this special something that is rooted deep within themselves that they just don't give a shite. And I'm loving that. Thank you so much. You know, I think I will ask attorney Linda to come on the show. I'm careful. I love them all. I love them all. This sandwich is as cold as ice. When I was 30, I had that short listen. I thought I was all that and a ham sandwich. Look, I had this, oh God.
That is stress. That's a printer stress. I would love that. It's okay, Green-Eyed. How are you, my darling? We'll see. Sometimes people don't want to come on. And I get it. She was a vampire? She'd probably love this stuff. Don't you think? It's stress. It's stress. I'm doing good, my darling. Thank you for being here. I better cut this in half. I love Chinese. I love Asian food. It's the Mercury retrograde because it wasn't the printer. It's the idea that I've got orders that are out the gazoo for the numerology. And since my printer went down, because I'm not writing them in the books, because there's so much going, my hand won't handle it to write, because I just scribble hello. I ordered the eye swapper. Thank you. And it's living up to its name. But I'm hungry. Everything could go wrong today. Yeah, see, it's Mercury. Thank you, my darling. I got them out of the box. I pressed them on and I painted them. Because I will not go sit in a salon. Yes, Mercury can affect your body. It certainly can. Yeah, same. Hello. Sorry, I tried to cover it, but you can't. And I was putting my makeup on with a Q-tip because you don't want to transfer any stuff. Love the how. Yeah. These nails I get from Amazon, and they're like $6.95. And I watch them. I reuse them. Because there's a certain way that I put them on, so I reuse them, and then sometimes I'll repaint them, and it's about time that they get. I don't have a brevia. I don't have that. I just take an antihistamine, and it'll go away in a couple of days. Maybe I can drive by Proctor's house and see if I can catch a vibe. I can catch his vibe here. And believe me, I don't think Proctor is there in his house. There we go. Have it my way. I do not believe that Proctor is in his house. I sure do have. I'm sure glad I have this fire rolling with this little peepee boy. The hour of the app show. Wasn't that a nightmare? Bless you, my darlings. I should never have done that. Mercury can affect your cats. It affects everything. It affects everything. I kind of miss the Thursday night shows. Okay, I'm done. I hate to be so gross, but I just kind of feel like I'm picking at a roadkill right now. Goodbye. That was enough. Okay. Chinese nightmares. Let me see, does it affect dogs too? Yes. Yes. My cats have been totally sleepy. See this? Sam has been on my pillow in my bedroom for 2 days, just like, and I'm going in there and I tap her on the shoulder like, Sam, hello. Are you there? Hello, my darling. Are you there? Shh. Be very, very quiet. I got somebody outside. I hate condo living. I hate condo living. But even though I manifested the printer very quickly, and even though, it's very hard because I've got a lot of people are emailing support and saying, I ordered, and I know, but I promise you won't be upset. You'll be very satisfied when you get your little numerology report. So, I keep getting these. Lots of energy going. Lots of energy. Only 80 people are watching me eat. Well, there's actually a total of, on my end is 117 people, and then on Fate and Fortune, True Oracle is 70. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I really am. I cannot tell you how blessed I am. Totally. But that's not going to happen again. Oh, pardon me. Thank you. Love you back. Love you. Look at this. It's time for a new mic. Look at this. This is like a dinosaur. Thank you, Kelly. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. Let me see. Jessica, bless you, my darling. Thank you so much for that very generous little Venmo you sent. Brooks. I got to tell you something about that movie. I know what that's from. Brooks was here. Yeah, I think it's from Shawshank Redemption. That's my hometown. Not Shawshank Redemption, not the prison, but where it's located. Mansfield, Ohio is where the Mansfield Reformatory is where Shawshank Redemption was filmed. I was there. And I grew up in that area. And right there where Malabar Farm is where that's right, Andy Dufresne. That's when they went into in the first part of the movie where Andy is going into this little woods. That's called the Doris Day Woods. And you hear that, if I didn't care. Remember that old song? If I didn't care. Remember that? And then, of course, Andy burst into that cabin. I worked on a crew on that farm, and we put new roofs on those cabins. That's called the Doris Duke Woods. Well, when I was there, I was working with because it is a working farm. Malabar Farm is a working farm. And Morgan Freeman actually brought his horse for his daughter. They shipped it out there, and she would ride. They had a beautiful horse, and she would ride while they were filming. And so anyway, my grandparents worked for Louis Bromfield on Malabar Farm, and it was a wonderful experience. But when I saw that, I'll tell you what, I love that movie so much. But all of that scenery where you see where red is going through, that's where I grew up. That's Lucas, Ohio. That's where I grew up. And sometimes I can't watch it because of the scenery. I get so homesick. And where Red. Was it Red or Brooke? Whatever. We stood on the chair and he carved his name in the little rafter type thing. And that street that they were on, I mean, that's a working street. I remember they closed that down and fixed all the facades and did all this stuff. It was fantastic. Of course, my son wasn't born then yet, but I love that movie. But it's hard for me to watch because I get homesick. Why? I don't know. There's nothing there. But it's the farm, it's the farm and all this other. Brooke was there, Red carved it after. That's right. Thank you, Kat. That's right. So but I love that movie. I think, have you noticed that they just don't make what's going on? Why aren't they making movies the way, I'm going to tell you what, these movies, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, all those, it's like, hello, I could not even think. And when I get moved, I'm probably going to take a week and just sit and watch everything. Even The Matrix. Even, some of these some good Westerns. Absolutely. Where are they? Well, I'll tell you why. Can I tell you why? Of course I can. I'm going to tell you why that no movies. Hi there, Shonaline. I'm going to tell you why. I'm seeing something saying there, dirty deeds, and they're done dirt cheap. Oh, I love that song. Anyway, it's because Hollywood is so filled with an evil presence, that there is no longer anyone who can think for themselves. Think about that. Nobody can think for themselves because they aren't themselves. Most of them have been replaced. Now listen. Most of them have been replaced. Did you ever hear Jack Black talk about making the second Jumanji? He didn't want to, but he said he had to, or else he would be cloned. And you're right, Miss Jules, movies are just friggin' terrible. That's why I love those old movies on Turner Classic Movies. One of my favorites is The Letter, and you can't find it because The Letter, well, you have to pay for it. Why? It's old. But you have to pay for it. But when Betty Davis walks out on her porch and she says, Peter, where is the letter, Peter? Right? I love those. All I watch is the old stuff. When I am done here tonight, I will round up, clean up, unbuckle, do my gig, prepare for tomorrow, say my little, clean out the litter box, do my, my nightly things. And then I'm going to see what's on Turner Classic Movies. And there's not too much that I don't like to see. I have seen Soylent Green, and it is eye-opening. It is eye-opening. I miss those good movies. Lady Zelda, my dad, hello, beautiful. My dad has been stuck watching A Night to Remember. I love your dad. With Julie Andrews and James Garner. Oh. Back in the day, they had laws about how long you could kiss each other. It was like the 5-second rule, right? So that's why in
Casablanca, where you see Ingrid Bergman, who, by the way, passed away on her own birthday. That's kind of a thing. But Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogart, the Bogue, when they would have those kissing scenes, they would have to break and then they could start again. They started all that by breaking and then starting again. And the same thing with Alfred Hitchcock, did the same thing in Vertigo with Jimmy Stewart and I can see her. Why can't I think of her name? Kim Novak. Some of these things are good. Now, listen, on Apple TV, and I'm not a subscriber, but sometimes I get it. Severance, I like that. Landman, I like that. Kim Novak, yes. That's who it was. She was one of the Hitchcock ladies because he liked blonde ladies. Good thing he didn't see me at Halloween, right? 12 Angry Men, such a great, oh my goodness, yes. Tombstone, I miss Val Kilmer too. I miss him. I was working in Newport, Rhode Island at the Newport Bay Club and Hotel. And in strolls, I was on the night shift auditing because my husband, what was he? Well, he was going to the War College, but he was also out to sea for a very small period of time. So I was working the night shift as an auditor. In strolls, 2 actors from a new movie that was coming out called Top Gun. Guess who that was? It wasn't Val Kilmer, and it wasn't Tom Cruise. And when I saw this young lady, because she used to be on a soap opera, Another World, that I used to watch all the time. And I'm going to tell y'all who it is till you guess. You got to guess. The 2 people in Top Gun. And of course, she came in and she was just talking to me. She said, oh, and he went upstairs because they were together at that particular time. Goose. And who else? Goose was one. He went up, went to bed. Not Kelly. Not Kelly. So not Demi Moore. Meg Ryan, you got it, Debbie. So when I saw Meg, she played Betsy in Another World. She walked in and I'm like, Betsy! And she looked at me and she goes, why does people do that? And I said, because we all loved you as Betsy. Whatever happened to you? She sat downstairs and she talked to me for hours. And Goose went on upstairs. Anthony Edwards was his name. He went upstairs and she said, we're making a new movie. And I'm like, oh, really? And she said, yeah. She said, it's called Top Gun. I said, really? And she said, yeah, it's about Navy pilots. And I said, oh, brown shoes. She said, is that what they call them? And I said, yes. And I said, my husband is a Navy officer, but he's not an aviator. And she's like, oh my gosh. So we were talking and doing all this stuff. Talking. She was the nicest young lady. She gave me an autograph. Anthony Edwards came downstairs. He stood and talked with me for a little while. It was just like old friends. She was getting ready to go to Connecticut. It was almost Christmas. And she and Anthony Edwards were going up to Connecticut to see her family. She was absolutely stunningly adorable, even more so than on film. What are you doing, buddy?
I don't know what are we going to do about this? What we need to do something, son. You got it coming off of there. So anyway, she was just teetotally adorable. And I just loved her right from the beginning and followed her for a long time. I no longer have the autographs, but I have the memory. But it was wonderful. She told me all about it. And so by the time, yeah, I need to trim that off, Captain. So by the time that this movie came out, I was ready. But I'm going to tell you, I'm even a big Terminator fan. The original Terminator with Linda, what's her face? And oh my heck, she's going to be in Stranger Things. This last coming up, she's going to be in Stranger Things. Wow. Oh yeah. The scene when Harry met Sally, I loved that movie. I loved that movie and the way he ran at the end. I loved that movie. Anyway, my darlings, the OG Terminator, right? Oh my heck. That was just so. Now listen, I got a little lore for you because I talked to Linda Hamilton. That's right. Who's the T1000? Who is that T1000? Do you know that one? The T1000, I think is his name. That actor, I can't even think who he is. Isn't that nice? So if you're watching, I forgot your name. But he's on the Twix, and every now and then I go on there and I just talk. I love to talk with him. That was in the Terminator 2. And that was the other, oh heck. That was the other Terminator, right? The one that got T1000. No, I'm saying that like Arnold, but it's another guy. It was the guy who dressed up like the cop. Well, he was the one who chased John Robert Patrick. That's his name. Thank you, Debbie. I'm talking like Arnold. But Robert Patrick, yes. I've said hello to him a few times. We've talked. He rides a Harley, goes cross country. And I told him next time in Nashville and he comes by, we'll have coffee because we talk about this type of the lore and everything else of the Terminator. Do you know that when he was chasing that young man on that bike through the parking garage, that they did not slow the bike down? The bike actually was hooked onto a car so it wouldn't spill, right? So it had a bar and was hooked onto a car. So they were running through. Do you know that Robert Patrick trained for that? Look at this. Hello. He trained for that. I'm going to turn the Burger King around because it was cold meat. He ran so fast that he kept catching the bike. And they had to tell Robert Patrick to slow down. Now that's fast. And they said they kept telling him, and he said he would just get going, and he said it was just so momentum and the rhythm of him running, because they told him that he had to do rhythmic running, so you could see that he was actually running. He said all of that, he went so fast that he kept catching the bike and he had to slow down. I'm like, Ha ha ha. Yeah, that'd be something to brag about, wouldn't it? I love that idea. I love that idea. So anyway, my darlings, it is that time. We've been on here almost 3.5 hours. And tomorrow I want to get it together and get all these numerology readings out. So if you can get on the app, please do so, but it's not necessary. It's only if you want to get all kinds of, your notifications and you want to be a little bit more mobile, but it's not necessary. Okay. So no stress. You don't have to buy anything. It's all free. It's all good. So let's do this. I want to read what you all have going on here first and look at Aunt Bibi. She needs to do the right thing is the civil trial. And that is when we were talking about Karen Reed. And I agree. Amy Lala Deaver needs a serious garage time out. She sure does. There's Miss Jules, who gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, my darling. It's so wonderful that you did that. Teresa, 3Ds, became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Love it, love it. Kat, thank you. Gifted 1 membership and gifted another membership. There were a couple of memberships that were on the other channel, and I am so sorry that I missed those. But if you're here now, I love it. Thank you so much for thinking of me, thinking of my gift on Venmo. Tomorrow is another day. Don't forget to be here. And look, there's another 5 coming from Miss Jules. Thank you, thank you. Love it. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget, Manifestation Monday, 7 p.m., because I'm going to teach you and hopefully have some makeup on. And I'm going to teach you all how to manifest quickly like that and why we can. I'm preparing some videos for Patreon. That's going to be awesome because I have the unredacted documentation for Amelia Earhart. We're going to look at some pictures. We're going to look at some different things. And I think that's going to be wonderful. And I have some ideas about that. And then we may be talking about Hollywood over there. We're going to be continuing to talk about Charlie Kirk. And we're going to do as much as we possibly can without getting ourselves in a big pile of doo-doo. So don't forget, Monday night at 7 p.m., Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we've got a good week ahead, and I want you all to enjoy your Monday, your Sunday. Hello, what day are we? Your Sunday. And I want to thank you for being here, as always, because you guys never disappoint. You always hang in there with me. You've always got my back. And thank you so much for being here. So for me, this guy, and for me, I just am so happy that you're here. May you always feel like a king and queen and never get Burger King when it's totally after hours. With that being said, my darlings, thank you so much. And I will see you again very soon. Much love to you. They'll tell you the facts are clear, but the truth always flickers between the lines. In every shadow, there's a secret that refuses to stay buried. Clues hide in symbols, and sometimes even fate won't show its hand. Voices echo not just from the living, but from the silence they leave behind. I'm Lady Zelda. This is Seeing Crime, where what's hidden doesn't stay hidden for long. Until next time, keep watching.